I thought the worst moment of my university life had already happened when the laughter started, when whispers crawled over my skin like ants, and someone pointed at my worn-out shoes as if they were proof that I didn't belong. And in that moment, frozen between humiliation and rage, I truly believed I would dissolve into the floor and disappear. But then Alex Bennett appeared, tall, flawless, glowing under the hall lights like a hero straight out of a fairy tale. The golden boy everyone adored, the son of power and money. The name that opened doors without knocking, and for a brief, foolish second, I thought he had come to save me. That the universe had finally decided to be merciful, until I realized his smile wasn't kindness, but amusement. The kind that feeds on weakness. The kind that sharpens when it senses blood. And before I could react, he turned the room into a stage and me into entertainment, accusing me of ruining his expensive shoes with my drink, exaggerating every detail so his friends could laugh louder, demanding an apology, not because he needed one, but because he wanted to watch me kneel, and when I refused, when I stood there, shaking but upright, he crossed a line that revealed who he truly was, not a prince but a predator dressed in privilege, ordering me to clean his shoes, mocking my scholarship, my background, my existence, chanting insults while others joined in, drunk on cruelty, convinced that money gave them the right to rewrite reality, and something inside me snapped, not loudly, not dramatically, but with a quiet certainty that I would never give him what he wanted that I would.
Rather be crushed than claw.
And when I told him exactly what he could do with his shoes, the room exploded, gasps and laughter colliding, his pride shattering in front of an audience. And for the first time, Alex Bennett looked stunned, humiliated by someone he considered invisible, and that was when the war truly began, because men like him don't forget insults. They collect them like debts, and soon the whispers turn darker, plans forming, behind smirks, jokes about teaching me my place, about reminding the orphan girl where she came from, and if it weren't for David Monroe stepping and standing between me and them, calm but unyielding, I don't know what would have happened. Because David didn't he have Alex S. fame or wealth, but he had something far more dangerous. Integrity. And when he warned Alex to leave me alone, I saw fury flare behind Bennett's eyes. A promise of retaliation, and it came swiftly. Disguised as punishment that was supposed to be ironic justice.
When the university director summoned both of us after chaos erupted during a lecture.
Assigning Alex and me to organize the annual university ball together, forcing proximity like a cruel experiment, trapping two enemies in shared responsibility.
And Alex hated it. Hated being forced to work with the girl who had embarrassed him. Blamed me for his father cutting him off.
Financially?
For every crack appearing in his perfect life.
While I hated the way he invaded my space, controlled meetings, criticized every decision, yet slowly, against my will, I began to see fractures in him. Exhaustion beneath arrogance. Pain hidden behind cruelty. Especially when I discovered he was barely holding himself together without his father's money, living off pride and rage. And when circumstances forced us into the same room late at night, surrounded by decorations and half-finished plans, something shifted, not into affection, not into forgiveness, but into understanding that monsters aren't born, they're made.
And Alex's past was written in neglect, in cold expectations.
In a home where love was conditional and weakness punished. And while that knowledge didn't excuse him, it complicated my hatred, blurred its edges, and the nights of the ball arrived heavy with tension. The hall transformed into something beautiful through sheer effort and exhaustion. And when I stepped inside wearing a dress I didn't recognize as mine, expensive, stunning, completely out of my world, I felt exposed, vulnerable. And Alex noticed, his gaze lingering too long, his control slipping just enough to scare him.
because he didn't like losing power over himself. And when David asked me to dance, genuine and kind,
Alex intervened, jealousy erupting his entitlement, and before I could process it, he hijacked the moment, drawing attention to me in the most humiliating way possible.
announcing my role in the event while stripping me of dignity with backhanded praise, revealing to everyone how different I was beneath cheap clothes, turning admiration into spectacle. And that was when I realized that no matter how much I tried to understand him,
Alex Bennett would always choose dominance over decency.
and I left the hall before my tears could become entertainment, hiding where the noise couldn't reach me, where I could breathe, until he followed, furious that I had walked away, accusing me of ingratitude, of betrayal, of ruining him. And when he tried to corner me again, demanding submission disguised as compensation for his wounded pride, something else broke. Not inside me, but between us. Because this time I didn't shake, didn't plead, didn't insult him back. I simply saw him clearly. A boy terrified of being powerless, clinging to cruelty because it was the only language he knew.
And when I took back what was mine and walked away, leaving him shouting into emptiness, I understood that survival wasn't about winning against people like Alex Bennett.
It was about refusing to let them define you, about standing tall even when the world insists you kneel. And as the night ended and the music faded, I didn't feel like a victim or a hero, just a girl who had learned that. Dignity is the one thing no one can take unless you hand it over yourself.